This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, a lot of people been asking me what I think about Trump telling the SEC to investigate naked shorting in DJT. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I think this is a positive thing for retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. The SEC is going to be obligated, I believe, to do a real investigation. And more than likely, they're going to turn over a lot of naked shorting in DJT. But what I believe is going to expose is the naked shorting that is rampant through the whole United States stock market. And I believe it's going to be so outrageous that the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI are going to be forced to act and protect the market. Before, they would do investigations and they would claim that they found nothing. And the thing is, they found nothing when there's overwhelming evidence of fraud, corruption, manipulation, malfeasance. And the SEC says, we didn't find anything. And then a couple of years later, you see that they find these guys $1 million, $2 million, $10 million for the thing that they found nothing during the investigation. Make that make sense. If nothing was found during the investigation that warranted charges, why is the entity paying $1 million fines to the SEC? Obviously, you found something. But because of the relationships that's been developed over the years and the SEC's protocol to look the other way to fraud and corruption, you guys claim you didn't find anything. And then the bad actors, they make millions and billions of dollars. And then a few years later, they pay a small, tiny fine, a percentage of what they made from the illegal or questionable activity. And everybody knows that it's going on. The evidence of it has been overwhelming over the past 20 years. But we've been paying attention for the last 5 years. And what we've seen is scary. What we've seen is scary over the last 5 years. Okay? Like I've told you guys this multiple times. Had somebody told me 5 years ago that the United States stock market was so corrupt, I would have told them they're crazy. This is the United States of America. This isn't a third world country. But I would have been absolutely incorrect. I have come to the conclusion that the United States stock market is the most corrupt on the planet. And I believe a lot of bad actors leave their home countries and come here to commit financial crimes because they know there is no real oversight as long as you limit your victims to retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. So I believe that Trump media asking the SEC to investigate possible naked shorting in DJT, I believe that's going to expose a whole lot more fraud in the market, and hopefully it will shame the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI to start doing their job. But DJT and Donald Trump needs to stay on top of the SEC, and they need to look at those investigative materials themselves. Because even though we have a new SEC chair, a majority of those SEC employees are the same ones that were working with the bad actors before. So it is not beneath them to do an investigation and hide the real data or claim that they found nothing. They will act like they're doing an investigation to appease Donald Trump, appease DJT. But will they give us the real information? I don't think so. Because the old boys club still exists in the SEC. So they might still protect their buddies in the finance market. They might still protect them. So if we want a real SEC investigation, we need maybe somebody from DOGE walking alongside them in this investigation. Because I don't trust anything the SEC does, me personally, because everything I've seen over the last 5 years tells me that the SEC is in bed with the bad actors. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think that the SEC needs to do that investigation with DOGE looking over their shoulder? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.